Hi and welcome back to another fly tying tutorial. In this video we're gonna look at the ladies. I'm just calling them the ladies because I have tied this fly in several colors. So as you see, this is an orange one, this is an orange lady, and I also tied in a pink color, and I also have one in golden olive. And as usual, there will be a link to the, skip the intro. You can check down below in the description, so press on that if you just want to see the fly tying. And the full material list of this fly, you will find them underneath, also the link to my homepage and my Patreon page, and to my sponsor Nordisk Fiskeutstyr. Yeah, I think we should start off this fly tying tutorial with a sip of coffee. Back in the days, I was always, cheers, starting off with a cup of black coffee and some dark chocolate. So I hope you have a cup of warm coffee, and I hope you tie some flies these days. It's here in Norway, it's winter time, but today it's 10 degrees plus. I mean, it's nice and warm. So this upcoming weekend, I'm gonna go fishing. So yeah, cheers. Ooh, and I think also some chocolate. Okay, let's look at the materials. This one, as you can see, I think you're starting to recognize this hook. This is the hook from Owner, the AKI Light. Yeah, the AKI Light hook. And for several years, I've been tying this fly on the Tiemco 811S in a size 4. But I mean, I will show you the hooks. We're going to go through the materials first, and then I'm going to show you the difference between these two hooks. I have tested it out for a long while now, and the hook is super sharp, and it hooks up the fish, yeah. And it seems like because of the gap, the hook often the fish is hooked in the lip. It's not swallowed it. So I really can highly recommend this hook. It's beautiful. So yeah, for the ladies, we're gonna tie the orange one. The pink one is exactly the same tying method. So we're gonna look at this one. So for the CDC, for the orange one, I use white. These feathers are from my sponsor, Nordisk Fiskeutstyr. They have their these feathers are insane. They are so big. I'm not sure you can see it on the camera, but these are large, huge feathers. And I mean, okay, it's expensive, but really good quality. And in one bag, seldom there are feathers you need to throw away. You use every one. So I use white, plain white, and I use orange. This is a hot orange color. It's not fluorescent. I mean, I did tie some of them with fluorescent CDC, but it felt like the fly got to, it was almost like the color of an ambulance. It was, for me, it was just too much. And this fly actually has, it has the Ice-dubb, and it got some crystal flash pearl, not the UV pearl, just a pearl. That's flashy. The dubbing is flashy. And now I also tie this fly with from the Easy Shrimp Ice, the fluorescent white one. So I felt, the fly doesn't need it. And also I use orange CDC for other flies. So now I just need one. So I don't have to have the fluorescent one, and and the fly fishes just as well. I mean, yeah, you can decide what you want, but I don't want it fluorescent. So I'm just using plain hot orange CDC. Okay. And for the feelers, I use Am.Opossum. And as you can see, here are the Am.Opossum. This is Am.Opossum from Futurefly, American possum. This is a light pink color. And it's like on the original pattern, I use natural, no color, but it has been hard to get some good quality on the patch in a natural color. And last time I was buying some hides from my sponsor. They didn't have any natural, and the pink ones was just, yeah, they are perfect. And what I'm looking for, as you can see, I'm gonna show you the patch I have. It's important, it's nice and dark, and you need a lot of white cover here, you know, the white cover here. So when you tie it on the fly, you get that black and white contrast color. So look for that. So I always recommend you going to the shop and picking out the materials, you know, yourself. But if you can't do that, contact your shop. I mean, they more than likely will help you, and you tell them, I want to tie that fly. Can you please pick out a patch for me that's like this? So yeah, that's what I'm using. We are using Am.Opossum. And the cool thing is, okay, this is a little bit expensive, but I also use this for the hover shrimp, you know, Hoover shrimp. Yeah, hover, yeah. So yeah, so that's the feelers. And we're gonna use for the flash, I use 2 strands, no more, because it doesn't need any more flash. I don't like too much flash in my flies, so I'm just using crystal flash pearl. Not the UV pearl, just the regular pearl. And 2 strands, they will light up like lightning from the sky. So this works great. Just regular crystal flash pearl, yeah. And then it's the dubbing. And here I use Ice-dubb UV pearl. I like that purple color in the dubbing. So that's the dubbing. I also use the same dubbing for the white fnugge, you know, the last fly, the white fnugge, same color, same dubbing. And then it's the eyes, and I've been testing these easy shrimp eyes for quite a while now, and I really believe that these fluorescent, super fluorescent white eyes, the fish go crazy when they see them. So I really believe in them, and I actually tie them in my in several of my flies, and they work great. So I'm using these super fluorescent white on the orange one, and I've been testing out glow in the dark on the pink one. And actually I've been fishing, you know, in the evening. You can actually, when the fly is coming towards you, when you fish it, you can see the eyes, they're kind of glowing like this fluorescent, no, not fluorescent, glow in the dark, you know, the greenish color. Super cool. You should try that one. I use this for the pink lady, not the orange one. And then, am I forgetting something? No, I'm not. I'm gonna show you the hooks. I wanna show you the olive one. This is the orange one. Let's put that away for now, and I'm going to show you the olive. And I tie this one because I need something that represents more like a, you know, a sand eel. In the spring here in Norway, we have a lot of these big olives spawning, and the shallows are full of them. So that's why I tie this one. This is also a lady, but it's like an olive lady, and I tie it with these. This is a soft hackle patch with the Chickaboo feathers. As you can see, I always prepare my feathers because I tie so many of them. So that I like to do that. I can also recommend you to do that, even though you don't sell flies. I mean, if you have some patterns that you always tie these flies. I would highly recommend you. This is from Takeaway, you know, Chinese. This is for rice. Start sorting out your materials, because it's so much fun to go. If you need to tie a fly, the materials are right there, and it goes, yeah. So we're gonna use 2 feathers from a soft hackle patch with Chickaboo, and we're gonna use let's see, where's the here. This is the golden olive, same feathers as the other ones. So this is golden olive. I'm gonna use 4 feathers like that, and then we have a little bit of flash, because These sandworms, they are like bluish, olivish colored, and when it's warm and the sun is out, they don't have any. It sort of looks like they have some sort of a flash because their body is quite waxy, so they give off some glare. So I have this is light bright in golden olive. Just gonna pull out like 4 or 5 fibers, so they kind of, yeah, give it that little shine. And the hook, now I'm going to show you the hook. I use, also, it's the same dubbing. It's the Ice-dubb UV pearl, and it's the same eyes. Yes, I do have white eyes on my sand eel pattern because it seems to work. So the fly comes like a multi-fly. It can represent a small minnow and also the color of a sandworm. So yes, I put on some shrimp eyes. So this is kind of a hybrid. But yeah. And as you can see here, this is the 811S hook in a size 4. I'm going to show you, I'm going to compare them. I'm going to put in the 811S without materials. There we go. And I'm going to put this one so you can see. They are exactly the same length. Almost. They're almost the same length. Can you see? This one's a little bit shorter shank, but look at the gap. If I hold it like that, I mean, look at the gap. It's so much bigger. And look at the point. So this hook is, yeah, it's amazing. I can highly recommend it. It's time to tie the fly. One more sip of coffee. Good black, ever good. That's my way of drinking coffee. Yes, are we ready? Let's tie the fly. Okay, here we go. Let's put in a hook. We're gonna use the Owner AKI LIGHT. I'm gonna tighten up my vise a little bit like that, I think. Yep. There we go. And I'm using the, you know, now I use the Semperfli 6.0 waxed in a 6.0. Okay, so start in the middle, just by the hook point. Fasten your thread, and I'm going to go back. I need my scissors. And just stop right by the bend of the hook. You can see it there. As you see, usually I go to the bar, but on this hook, you have to stop just where the bend starts, okay? And then we're gonna tie in some CDC feathers. And I prepared 2 feathers. The white one is in the bottom and the orange one in the top. And I pulled off all the fluffy parts. And I'm gonna tie these 2 in by the tip. And the shiny part, you know, we're gonna tie that one down. Let's see how we're going to do this. And you need to be a little bit careful now because these feathers are a little bit, you know, crunchy, crispy. they tend to break on you. So don't pull too hard. I'm going to go down a little bit and up again. And I'm being soft in my hand, okay? You don't want to pull it too hard because then the feathers are going to break on you. They might even do that now. Snip off. Like that. And I'm going to take some wide turns. Do a half hitch. And I'm actually going to use my rotary vise, okay? If you don't have that, you just use traditional, you know, hackle technique. So be careful now, okay? Pull it up. Grab both of them. And I often like to press down so I kind of help them around. And take a turn with your rotary vise. Make sure the first turns are down there. Now actually you can pinch with your finger. Go up. Pull down. And you need to pull the fibers back for every turn, okay? You can use your rotary vise. Pull back. And if you try one more. Please don't break on me. See, it actually has. So I have to pinch it, take my thread, go back, and as you see, I have secured the feather with my thumb. I'm pinching it so it doesn't go off. I have to sneak up on this feather. Like that, go down, pinch it, and pull it a little bit, and tie it down. Tie down the butts. Butts? Yeah, butts. Snip it off, and then make sure the feathers are nice and, you know, like this. Look at this color, it's like, ooh. And pull these back, and I'm gonna tie down, move your thread, but make sure you don't tie over. I like to have the 2 first turns not tied down, okay? Go back there, you can see where the thread is aligned down there. Yeah, that's perfect. Now I have the first couple of turns without thread, because then the fibers will flare out, okay? So don't tie all the way down. Go back again. And now we're gonna tie in the opossum. Okay? So here is my opossum patch. I'm gonna pinch out a little bundle. I'm gonna show you. Just like that. And I like to pull out some of the underfur. Just throw that away. Pinch it over again. And then I like to hold it here and pull out some of the white ones. Just pull it a little bit. I mean, it's like 2-3 millimeters. So these gets a little bit longer, you know. So, and I'm looking at the bunch and I can see it's a little bit too much of the white ones. Perhaps pull out some of them. I just like a few fibers. Okay, it's ready. And I'm gonna measure it. And I like the black part is just by the, this is the tying, I call it the tying point, tie-in point, you know? So make sure the black part is just by the tie-in point. And when you're happy, like that, yeah, about there, pinch it with the other hand, go down and press against the hook, fasten it, and then I like to hold the bobbin a little bit tight and just slide my fingers back and then creep up on the fibers. Go all the way back to there, pull it, go forwards again. And now the fibers are on the top, just like that. You see? That's why I'm holding it and pulling it up. Go forwards again. Snip off these ones. Tie them down. And now we're going to tie in the crystal flash, the pearl. And I only want 2 strands. I don't want any more, okay? And I don't want them too long. And I want them to be on the top. You can choose what you like, okay? Just a couple of short ones, like that. That's perfect. And now we're gonna tie in a dubbing ball. And we're gonna use the white Ice-dubb UV pearl. And take out a small bunch. Here you can see the UV. I don't see if you can see the UV light. No. So start, and the different now is I usually tie this on the 811S hook, as you can see here. So at this point, with this hook, my thread is aligned with the hook point. But this hook point is so much longer, so I have to imagine, you know, that I'm gonna make this dubbing ball from this point back and forward. It's very important that you don't end up here, because then the whole fly, the proportions will be so off, you know. So make sure your thread is in the middle of the hook point and the barb. And put on a little bit of dubbing. Don't overdo it. You need a thin dubbing noodle. Like that. And for every turn I'm pulling the double and locking it down by twisting. Pull, twist, turn. I'm gonna go do this 2 times because I need a nice and thick dubbing ball for the eyes. Okay, so look at this noodle. This is nice and thin. By doing that, you have full control, you know, on the amount of dubbing. Pull the dubbing, twist, lock it, and I also push it with my finger like this. Pull, twist, push, and go back with the bobbin. Then you can feel that this dubbing ball is going to be so nice and firm. Yeah. So now your thread is almost by the hook point. I'm going to tie in the other set of CDC hackles. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to actually use a paper clip. I like to use the Mark Petron. You can use just a regular paper clip, but put on just one of the sides like that. And I can highly recommend this scissor from Mark Petron. It's an investment. It's quite expensive, but I have had this for many years, and it works so good. And snip off one of the sides. Don't snip off the feathers. And I'm just gonna leave this on my table, and I'm gonna save these for the front. And I'm gonna tie these ones in at the back, in by the tip. Okay, like that. And now we're gonna make sure our thread, the tie-in point, I'm gonna call it the tie-in point. Go all the way back to the point between the hook point and the barb, and go forwards again. This is important, so important that you have these measurements. Then all of your flies will look the same. And go there and just take some wide turns. And do like that. And hope this doesn't break on you. Make sure the first turns are exactly with the tie-in point. I'm just going to use my rotary vise, pulling the feathers back, pinch it, take my thread, go back again, lock it down, pull the feathers a little bit, divide the fibers with my fingers, fold them back, and go back with the thread. And now, the same. Now I need to tie down these hackles so my thread is at the same point. That's important. For now, the proportions will be perfect. Perfect. Let's clean up these butts, hackle butts. And then we're going to tie in the easy shrimp eyes. And now you can I know I'm nagging about the measurements and the points, but you have to do this because you're going to mess up your fly. So as you can see, these easy shrimp eyes fits perfectly. I like to snip off the tip of it. So I'm leaving, you know, a couple of millimeters in the front, because here we're going to put in some more CDC feathers, and you need about 4 millimeters here. That's important. And you can, let's see, you are at this point. I mean, then the eyes will be there, and you don't have enough space, you know, the whole fly just doesn't look good. So make sure. Okay. So these easy shrimp eyes, they have a side where there's riffles, and I like to take them up. And now that point there should be aligned with the point between the hook eye, in the point between the hook point and the barb. I'm sorry. So take a couple of turns. Look at it. Looks great. They should just go by the eyes should be a little bit longer back than the hook bend. Make sure it's on the top, and now you can tie all the way up. Make sure your thread is just at the right point, and that's there, and go forwards again. Now cinch this down firmly. Make sure this is on the top. That's perfect, 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 perfect. A little bit of dubbing and start there because we're gonna dub up and down again. That makes for a better body, okay? So make a nice thin dubbing noodle, lock it, dub, 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 dub. I use my finger for this way. Because now I'm gonna dub back down again and thin dubbing noodle, thin. And make sure when when you take for each turn, now you can pull it and lock it. Pull it and lock it and go like this, chung, 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 nice and tight and almost like touching turns with the dubbing, because now you're making a solid fly. And stop 3 millimeters from the hook eye. That's important. You see? Nice, perfect body. And it's durable. This will last, you know, for a couple of fish. So yeah. And then we're gonna split our thread. And I have this one. This is a sewing needle, you know, sewing needle. And I just use a chopstick. And I glued it on this chopstick. Yeah. So just spin your bobbin. Like that. Open up your thread. I'm just going to use my needle like that and my nail like this. And I'm going to split the thread. And I had a little bit too much coffee. That's all right. And I need new glasses. So now comes the part. I saw Jimmy. Hi, Jimmy. If you can see, I'm going to show you why I do have a little... I've glued on a small thing on my bobbin. Now on my vise. As you can see there, this is a small nut. This is a metal one. And I just used super glue and let it dry, and it sits. It won't come off. Because when I open up a dubbing loop, if you're just gonna leave the bobbin down, it's gonna spin up again. I don't like that. I'm just gonna put one of them on this one, and like that. Now it's ready for me. I can work with the materials, do it ready, put my finger in, and swoop, it's done. As you can see, my bobbin is down there. It hangs down there. And I've split the thread, and it's ready to go. Okay? Yeah. I'm gonna get my feathers and I'm gonna open up, and I'm just gonna put my finger in like that so it doesn't go back again. And pinch it like that and spin it up with your thread. Just spin your bobbin. And while we're doing that, cheers you guys. I just love to do these fly tying tutorials. I love it. So cheers. Let's finish off this fly, okay? So you're ready, and now you have this perfect, you know, thread with, yeah. And I'm just gonna tie it at the same point, and I'm gonna pull a little bit, and I'm just gonna use my fingers, pull it back, tie over, make a nice head, and it's perfect, perfect, perfect. Where is my... There it is. My whip finish tool. Da, 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 da. Bim, bada boom. Schmick, schmack, schmuck. And the fly is done. Is there some butts there? I'm gonna burn it off. Look at this fly. Oh, I just love this fly. It's one of my top fly. I mean, my top fly is Vaskbjørn, no doubt. But at number 2, the orange lady. Yeah. It's amazing. So varnish. As you see, I put on quite a lot. I don't mind if the varnish goes in, you know, into the CDC feathers. That doesn't matter for me. So that doesn't do anything. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So That's the orange lady, and I'm just gonna show you the olive one as well, because it's the same fly, but it's a little bit other technique, okay? So yeah, let's do that. So let's tie this one, the olive one, okay? AKI LIGHT. This is a size 2. Yeah, size 2. Same thread. Go back to the bend of the hook. So let's tie in the feathers. And I'll try to tie them on. I'm going to pair them up. Pair them up, yeah. Like that. I'm going to pull off the fluffy parts. You don't need that. I'm going to tie in 2 feathers. You can choose the length you want. I like them a little bit long, so from the hook, as you can see, from the hook eye, a little bit longer than the whole hook. So just do like this. Looks great. Come over with these fingers and pinch, go down, like that, and up, and press them down as you tighten up. You will find the feathers will be perfect, like that. And that's the point you want to be at when you've tied in the tail, okay? Just snip off these ones. I'm going to tie in 2 golden olive CDC feathers by the tip. Like that. I'm gonna take my bobbin on my bobbin holder, and I'm just gonna use my rotary vise. Pull the fibers back. Try not to pull too hard, because these feathers will easily break on you. And make sure the first turn is all the way back, like that. If you're not used to the rotary vise, I mean, you have to practice this a little bit, but like that. When I'm happy, I'm just gonna pinch the feather with my thumb, take my bobbin, spool back again, grab the CDC feathers and tie them down. And I'm not letting this go, I'm just gonna pull it a little bit and snip it off. And I'm going to divide the feathers. So, like that. I like to tie down the butts first. Go forwards again, and then we're going to go back. I'm going to sneak up. Make sure you don't tie down the first turn. That's perfect. As you see, I have the first turn of the hackle is not tied down. If you do that, the whole feather is going to collapse like that. You need that to kind of pulse in the water. Take some nice and tight turns there, and then we're going to tie in. Look at the points. The same thing. Now I'm at the hook point, and the tie-in point is there. You see? The same as the pink lady. And we're going to have some flash. This is the light bright. And I mean, just pull out a little bit. Don't overdo this, because it's gonna be too flashy. And I don't think the fly looks that good when it's too flashy. I'm gonna pull out about, 5-6 strands. Just put them on the top. And try to kind of divide the bunch on each side. Go back. And forwards again. That's enough. You can see it's just a couple of strands to give it a little bit of, shine. Okay. And now we're going to dub. The rest is the same, okay? It's the same as the pink lady. It's the same technique. A thin dubbing noodle. Go back, tighten up, make sure it's nice and tight. Twist, twist, push, over, twist, lock it, push, over. Pull, twist, lock it, and go over. Okay. Like that. And then we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to take the feathers. We're going to use the paper clip. Schmick, schmack, schmuck, snip. I'm just going to fast forward a little bit. You've seen me do this with the other flies. Make sure you are at the right tie-in point. Snip off. Like that. I'm going to use my rotary vise again. Actually not bother about which way these hackles are. I mean, like that. 1, 2, perhaps 3. Make sure you have all the fibers. Bida bim bam boom. Get your bobbin. I'm speeding up a little bit because now this you have seen this before. Pull it, tighten it, divide, go back. Make sure you're at the right tying point. I am. Snip off. Bim, bada boom. Lock it down. Make sure it's nice. Like this. Get the eyes. I think this is the first sand worm with shrimp eyes, but I think this is a trigger point, okay? I'm gonna snip off the tip of the easy shrimp eyes. Feel which side that's going up. Make sure it's just like that. Lock it down, go back. Make sure it's on the side. Make sure you're at the tie-in point between the hook point and the barb. Go back again. Cinch it down. Nice and firm. Stop in the middle. More dubbing. I've tied so many of these flies. I mean, it's almost like it's in my muscles, you know, muscle memory. When I tie some patterns, they it's like, yeah. I don't think I could do this blindfolded, but I tie hundreds of flies each year, so yeah. Okay, so as you can see, I've made sure I have 3 to 4 millimeters space to do the front. I'm gonna split up the thread. And the caffeine is kicking in. And the sun has come out. Let's see if I can get the middle. There we go. I'm just gonna hold my finger in it like that. Put in this one and spin it up. Schmack, schmick. Lock it with a few spins. And as you can see, I'm just gonna tie it like that. I'm not pulling the fibers back. Pull. Then I pull it back. You get these very nice hackles. And just use your whip finish tool. I'm gonna take our lighter and burn off any tips. Oh, it looks so good. Look at this fly. Oi, 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 oi. And then use some varnish to finish off your fly. And I have things all over the place and my tying bench. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's the olive lady. Grizzly Marabou lady. Perfect, huh? Yeah. Okay, you guys, thanks for watching. This has been one of the longer ones, but I think I know you appreciate it because I go down in the details. So yeah, as always, I'm gonna put the material list down below in the description of the video, and you're gonna find link to my sponsor Nordisk Fiskeutstyr, and you're also gonna find a link to my Patreon page if you want to become a Patreon supporter. And yeah. I hope you liked the fly. I can highly recommend it. I mean, these flies works so good. And as we sit there and the sun has come out, it actually warms my face, you guys. Look at the bright sun. We're gonna say cheers. And I'm gonna see you in the next video, okay? Cheers, bye.